Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the British and Colombian Responsible Business Awards 2021. We are so glad to have you with us today. As you are all aware, last December, we put a call to the entire bilateral business community. We ask you to share with us your transformative actions you are all leading to become a responsible business and achieve the sustainability development goals. And your response was outstanding. Entries pulled from Colombia and Britain reporting all manner of actions and success. Today, we are going to celebrate our class of 2021, including all entries, finalists, and honorable mentions. And of course, we will reveal the award winner. All our applicants have been building partnerships, transforming policies, creating dialogue, and building trust at all levels, not only within their companies, but with the communities they interact and with the planet. These three areas make our core areas of evaluation today. We will be just getting started in a few seconds. Keep the conversation alive in social media by using the hashtag Let's Take Action followed by Brucol Awards. We will do the same. Interact with other delegates using the chat. We have plenty of members of our team that will be available in the chat to answer any questions you might have or to support you if you have technical issues. To start the conversation, let me welcome our chairman, Simon Adamsdale. Simon, welcome.
Thanks, Tanya, and welcome to everyone who is attending. It's an honor to welcome you all to our virtual British and Colombian Responsible Business Awards. We're delighted that so many companies have entered, which is a cause for celebration itself. We applaud all entries, some of which earn honorable mentions, as well as our finalists and our ultimate winner. The history of this award stretches back to 2004, when BAT sponsored these awards, which ran to 2006, and was graced with the presence of such individuals as Kenneth Clark and Michael Portillo. The Chamber resurrected these awards this year in recognition of the fact excuse me, that sustainable policies are not just nice to have for corporations, but essential for business survival and success. As Control Risk states in its annual risk map, go green or go bust. So our entrants are already making a difference to life in Colombia by building schools in local communities, by installing clean water and waste management systems, by investing in community business startups and installing education programs designed to encourage gender equality, and much more. And much more is needed. The judging committee, chaired by Warren Hayden Gash, has had the difficult task of evaluating the competing applications, and he will tell you more about the committee himself. But this has been a wonderful challenge designed to enhance sustainable development objectives. We want to thank you all for your submissions and pay tribute to the quality of the firms applying and the content of their applications. And thereby, we hope you will gain more visibility of the benefits you are already delivering in Colombia as you demonstrate more responsible business standards throughout the country. I now wish to hand back to Tanya, who will introduce the next stage of our event.
Thank you, Simon. Before we continue with the ceremony, we are going to have now a panel discussions with some of our applicants. We hope this space will allow you to discuss, benchmark, and hear from experts such as Andrea Pradilla, our moderator today, and head of the Global Reporting Initiative in Latin America. Can I ask all the panelists to join the stage now, please, and welcome you all. If you have some questions, please post them in the chat rooms, and we will try to put them to the panel if we have enough time. If they don't get answered during this live ceremony, we will make sure that we answer those questions after the event. So can I welcome Andrea, Alex? Hi, Alex. So we are just getting everybody on. So Alfred is here, Monica is here. Hello. So we are just hello everybody. So I'm going to get to leave, and so just to allow Andrea to come in. We are having a bit of a delay with Andrea. She's having technical difficulties. So we will wait for 1 minute and come back to you.
Good morning. Can you hear me and see me? I hope you can. Yes. Apologies to everyone for the technical difficulties. Believe it or not, we rehearsed this part. So I apologize to all of you. Thank you, Tanya. Good morning and good afternoon to those joining us today. Welcome to the Responsible Business Practices panel. I think it's fantastic that we're having this panel on Earth's Day. I'm joined today here by three wonderful speakers that will kindly share their company sustainability journeys with us. I will introduce them shortly, then we will ask general questions to all of them, and hopefully we will have a chance to ask the questions that you have for them too. First, I welcome to the stage, and you already saw him, Alejandro Marin, who's the Technical and Environmental Director at Smurfit Kappa. Alfredo has an impressive academic background with degrees in chemical engineering, an MBA, a PhD, and over 32 years of experience in this sector and being part of the journey from his company. Alejandro, welcome. Then I want to welcome Alex Yu, Managing Director for Latin America at John Laing, a company in the infrastructure sector. And I understand, John, you've been with your company for a long time and you've been able to work in many geographies, and you're now in charge of the Latin America chapter of the organization. And finally, I want to welcome Monica Navarro. Monica is the Ireland Senior Counsel at Del Canto Chambers, a law firm that operates in Europe, in Latin America, and has a powerful identity on gender equality. And Monica is actually a lawyer, so we're going to get three fantastic and very unique perspectives from different types of companies, but also three different types of leaders. Without further ado, as you know, responsible business conduct is a word that has been put on the stage by the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, the OECD. And sometimes when people start thinking about RBC and sustainable development and corporate sustainability, they may get confused and the words may seem too broad, too conceptual. And for sustainability and RBC to really work, companies need to give it its own flavor and taste. They need to tailor it to their own journeys. And that's where I want us to get started. Alfredo, Smurfit Kappa belongs to the packaging sector, which is considered to have a high environmental and social impact. But your company has had a long journey in sustainability, trying to embrace the journey. And my question to you is, what does responsible business conduct mean within your company? How do you define it, and how the journey has been to define it?
Well, thank you very much for the so nice presentation. I must start to say that I feel very proud of working in this company because for more than 30 years, we have been talking about sustainability here. Then, of course, for us, our propose today is to meet the needs of our customers. Then, but for the other side, we invest in our people, and we invest very much in the people. The communities where we have the privilege to operate, and the environmental protection to generate also a superior return to our shareholders. And then that's, as you know, is the basis of the sustainability today. Today, we have been very concentrated in all these years in three key areas: in the planet, of course, in the people, and to have an impactful business. And then we feel today that we have success in all of them. And then now we are very deep working in the principles of the circular economy. This means recovering, reusing, recycling materials. We are making the best use of our planet resource. We are reducing waste and CO2 emissions in a very significant amount that we will talk about later. We have the proposed to fit for proposed packaging for making our packaging that does not create waste to our customers. Our strategic environmental priorities are more in climate change, community, the chain of custody to give the customers that they feel sure that all the resources that we are using are coming from a environmental side, and to avoid, of course, waste, and to decrease the water use and to protect the water. And then we are using resources, reusing and recycling wherever we can. Our business is a model today of a circular business with renewable and sustainable raw materials. And additional, we use organic byproducts that we have in our process. We have been using that as biofuel. We are reusing a large amount of water. And we are working with local organizations to find alternative uses for material that we cannot reuse internally. Then that's more or less what you are doing in all the topics, are more concentrated in the people, very well concentrated in the environmental impact that we could make. And of course, we're very concentrated also in the business.
Fantastic. So based on what you're saying, it's a little bit stakeholder approach, but also based on the impacts the company is causing through its core business of packaging. Now let's move to another industry. Alex, your company is part of the infrastructure sector, where actually several standards and principles emerge first in terms of responsible business conduct. You have the IFC performance standards and many, many others. But how does a company like yours, being so large and having so many operations throughout the world, define responsible business conduct and corporate sustainability in the context of your operations in the case of Latin America? Or how do you kind of translate that global broad concept to what you do daily?
Sure. Thanks, Andrea, and thanks to the Chamber of Commerce for having me today. It's a real pleasure to be here. Just maybe a quick introduction to the company, because not everyone will know about John Laing, but we are an infrastructure investor. But we've got a very long and unique history. We started out our life as a construction company 170 years ago. And along the way, we stopped doing construction, and now today we are purely an equity investor, and we are very active globally. And I'm very proud and pleased to have helped the company to set up its Colombian business about 4 years ago. So we started being active in Colombia in 2017. And today we have an office in Bogota, and we have got 10 highly talented Colombians based in Bogota. We've also invested more than $100 million in the infrastructure of the country. We made an investment in a road called Ruta del Cacao, starting from Bucaramanga and ending in Yondo in 2019. And in January of this year, we signed a contract to invest in our second road in Colombia, Pacifico Dos. So very, very pleased and very proud to be part of Colombia's journey. And so being a responsible investor is key to what we are, because being in the infrastructure line, you end up having to build roads through forests, and you need to repurpose parts of the land. So it's important for us to make sure that we give back to the community and to the environment. But at the high level, our vision for being a responsible investor is to create value for our stakeholders. So we create value for our stakeholders. But what's important to us is to identify the stakeholders and make sure that we are creating value for each of them, and to be able to demonstrate it, because we believe that a company is only successful if it creates value and not just extracts value. So who are our stakeholders? I think the obvious one is our shareholders, obviously. And our employees are also very important stakeholders. The governments that we work with in each country are important stakeholders to us as well. And last but not least, the communities in which we operate are very, very important stakeholders for us, right? And a key goal for us is to improve the lives of the communities in which we operate. So creating value for these communities, adding value to these communities, and being able to demonstrate through case studies and measurements of how we are impacting the environment in a positive way is important to us, and is how we define ourselves as being a responsible investor.
I think you've touched on some of the most crucial elements that sustainability needs today. It's multi-stakeholder. You have to identify the right stakeholders. Sounds easy, but as Alex, you have more experience than anyone perhaps here. It's not so easy to identify the right ones. It's quite a challenge. And you touched on something I think it's very complex, but very much a need. You need to measure the impact. You cannot just claim that you have an impact, and you have to be transparent about it. And I would imagine there are lots of challenges regarding that. So in my next round of questions, I'll perhaps ask you to give us a little bit more insight on how you actually do the measurement and ensure that that the impact is being caused and not just claimed. Now I want to move to Monica. Monica, you belong to a law firm, and when I was actually reading your bio, I couldn't believe we would have another lawyer. I'm a lawyer myself, and I often feel like a strange creature when I speak to other lawyers about responsible business conduct and corporate sustainability. It is not common to see a law firm trying to implement RBC as part of its core business. Walk us through how RBC is understood at your law firm. Would you unmute your mic, please, and perhaps share with us a little bit on how your company understands responsible business conduct?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Monica is having technical difficulties.
Can you hear me now?
No. We hear you. We hear you. Yes. We don't see you, but we hear you. You want to just get started? Perhaps while Monica is able to fix the technology issues, I'll just go back and do a quick follow-up. Alex, could you walk us a little bit through the measurement part? And because you mentioned that several times, you have to demonstrate and you have to measure. How do you achieve that in your journey?
Sure. I think we do that in two ways. Firstly, at the corporate level, we subscribe to UNPRI and the various organizations which we set up metrics for us to track, and that is done at a corporate level. But we also ensure that all of these criteria for measurement and for satisfying are included in the life cycle of the deal. So from the very start, when we are screening a deal, to the point where we invest in a deal, and when we are managing the asset and where we are exiting the asset, at each of these stages, there are certain questions we need to answer in terms of being a responsible investor, to make sure that it achieves certain thresholds. The head of our ESG sits in our screening committee, and he will voice his opinion about issues as well. And I think it's all fine and good having these measures, but if all of the projects go through, then they're not working. So sometimes it's quite pleasing to see that certain projects are not being taken through because they don't meet the criteria, right? And that has happened from time to time, and even quite recently. So we sign up to these sustainability conventions with the United Nations, with some of these other organizations. We ensure they're incorporated into our processes, but also at the ground level. I mean, to take an example of the Ruta de Cacao project, at the ground level, we make sure that we can measure the progress. And if I give you an example on the environmental side, as a result of having to build the road, we've had to clear some trees and had to clear some ground in order to expand the road. But to compensate for that, we've planted 8,000 trees. We have bought, we've purchased 1,400 hectares of land for further trees to be planted. And I know Colombians love their football, and 1,400 hectares of land is the equivalent of 3,000 football fields, right? So these are the measurements I'm talking about. We've also reused 84% of the material that we excavated during the construction. We've also made use of 70% of the groundwater that we've come across while doing the tunneling, so that we don't have to use new surface water. So all of these statistics are important to us. We measure them. We show that we are making some real progress and some real impact. And lastly, even on the social side, we make sure that we track the impact that we have. For example, in the Santander region, where the Ruta de Cacao Road is located, we have initiated a seed capital fund project where we have provided funding to 26 families in order for them to run their own businesses. 65% of the staff that we have on the project are recruited from the vicinity, and for us that's important, right? That we are using local people. We have built 2 schools, 4 water treatment plants in order to benefit the local community. So I think these are the things that I'm talking about measuring to show that to demonstrate that we're making a real impact in the community.
Great. I'm actually from Bucaramanga, so this makes me really happy that not only you pronounce that perfectly, but you're creating such a fantastic impact and you're measuring it. I also think you highlighted something that's the challenges. Sometimes you just have to say no, an investment won't go through. As much as we would love, because it has financial returns, it does not create the impact we're seeking. Therefore, it's a no. And I think that's also a message for companies that are looking for the type of investment that you bring to the table and that the world is needed nowadays. Alfredo, going back to you and thinking of the SmartFit Campus sustainability journey, what is the one practice that you feel most proud about, that you say, okay, embracing responsible business conduct is challenging, but this one thing we got right and I'm very proud about? What would be that practice or that project that you feel very proud about?
Thank you very much for the question. Actually, there are so many that I'm not sure where to start, because I feel so proud for this company and for the thing that my colleagues have been making for many years, that I will start for the end. And then the last year, during the midst of COVID-19 pandemic, we have realized that we have one extremely good human resource inside the company, because we were able to react and to do fantastic things inside. For one side, creating how to protect us and to protect all the workers and to protect all our families and the community. And for the other side, we have reacted very quick as an answer of our customers, because the market changed completely. We realized that we were part of the solution during that time, because a lot of new products came out, and for example, the e-commerce were growing in a fantastic way. And then we were able to create products in less than 1 week as a solution for that. And that was something that at the end had impact in the people at the end of the end, because we were part of the solution of something that was affecting globally the world. And then at that moment we realized that our people were fantastic and say, all the strategies that we have done trying to keep inside a very good people, talented people, was proving at that moment. And then that's something that I feel very proud today, to feel that I'm working together with so fantastic people and so good people. And then sorry. And then additionally, all our customers have realized that talking about the product level, that we have one very favorable carbon footprint because in our products compared with other packaging materials. And then that has been giving an added value to the customers. The reason is because the 100% of our raw materials are coming from renewable resources. And then we have our own plantations for the wood that we use in our process. We have more than 70,000 hectares of land dedicated in a renewable pine and eucalyptus plantations that constantly are feeding our system. And additionally, only 40% of our raw material is recycled paper that can a huge organization inside the country that are recovering oil for everyone. And then additionally, I told you that we were talking about some key and about some key value that we have related with the environmental protection. And then I particularly love the numbers to compare and to see if we are going in the right way. And then, for example, if we are talking about CO2 emissions cut, and then today we have reduced almost in 1/3 the CO2 emissions since the year 2005 through installing new boilers, improving energy efficiency by using combined heat and power. And additional, more than 92% of our packaging is already certified as a chain of custody. We have invested 79 million euros since the year 2005 to improve our water treatment plants. And we have reduced waste sent it to the landfill by 50% just in the last 5 years. And then that is something that makes us to feel proud to see that the people is deciding to invest in such field that normally don't you don't see the effect in money because with that environmental projects you don't get the money back so easily like with another projects to improve productivity, for example. But in spite of that, the company has decided to do it thinking in the future, thinking in the planet, thinking in the people, because it's very important for us to think that, and we feel that in the next future, in the short-term future, this variable will become so important that that will help us to gain one important position, at least in the head of our customers, that they realize that we are really, for many years, working in that this commitment in sustainability, and we hope that that will give us one day one competitive advantages. And then I don't know if I think that summarized a bit more or less what we are doing. But I want to finish to say that we feel very proud, not just for the people, also for the social health of the company, because we have a lot of plantation around Colombia and a lot of workers working in the fields. And we support also that people a lot with education, with protection, with health, and so on. And that is something that inside the company also makes us very proud. In many advances as workers also help additionally to the foundation to do such things. And then that's more or less one part that we are doing. And we really hope that it will be useful for the other companies to follow that strategy, because trust me that all the investment that you do today in the environment, in the people, will have without any doubt one return. It's not so easy to see, but we are sure that we will get it one day.
You know, one can really tell how proud you are to be working there. And I think that's just so fantastic when one comes across an employee that's the best possible representative for the company, and just explaining how proud they are. And it's really encouraging to see. And I think I'm going to stick to one of the things you said. We are part of the solution. And I think that's just, it gives purpose to everyone to think that they're part of the solution. And, I think it's very clear that we just don't wake up to work every day. We wake up to be part of something. And it's fantastic how you're connecting the corporate success to purpose and to making the world a better place. And you're adding metrics. I just love how you said 1/3 reduction in CO2 emissions. I think it's key to track progress. Monica, hopefully I have you back. I really want to get your views here, because, these two companies are quite advanced in their sustainability journey. And I really want to hear from you, an unusual suspect in the field of corporate sustainability. Let's try and see if technology would help us here.
You're mute, I think.
I think so too. Because time is the enemy of good conversation. I'm just going to go back to Alex, Monica, and hopefully those of you that want to learn more about a law firm trying to make the difference will be able to reach out to you bilaterally or through the networking rooms that have been set up. Alex, there is a question for you. People are asking how is the journey of creating responsible investment in Colombia different from what you have experienced in other geographies? What are the challenges, the opportunities? What would you say to someone that wants to do it?
Sure. Well, we decided to look for opportunities in Colombia after looking at many other prospects, and we decided that Colombia was a very attractive destination for investments because it had a good legal framework and it had a good demand for infrastructure, which the government was was supporting. So that's why we decided to explore opportunities in Colombia. But there are a couple of challenges. I think one is when we are doing infrastructure projects, obviously it's a very mountainous country, so the terrain is is always quite challenging. But the other thing is also some of the sometimes it gets quite complex when we are trying to structure projects and ensure that we are able to go to the banks and raise money and make sure all the structures are acceptable. But we see this as a good thing because because of the difficult geography, any infrastructure that we deliver and invest in and build will have a very, very significant impact on the country, on the people of the country, and on the economy of the country. So in a way, the challenges allow us to add even more value and have even greater impact in the infrastructure that we do build. And also, when it comes to some of the structures and the challenges in structuring projects for investments, is actually good for us because John Lang as an investor is a very active investor, and that's why we've got 10 people in Bogota, and so it suits us to be involved in this sort of complex construction projects and complex structures, and that's why we've enjoyed being in the country and are continuing to commit to the country. And obviously, the one small advantage at a personal level is I've had a chance to visit Colombia many times. I think I've visited almost 50 times, and I've really fallen in love with the country. I've taken my family there for holidays, so that's one of the bonuses of being involved in such a wonderful country.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Alfredo. Thank you, Monica. I know you try your best. Our time has concluded. I just want to highlight a couple of points from what Alex and Alfredo have been able to share. Corporate sustainability and responsible business conduct to work, you have to tailor it to what you're doing as a company. So if it's in the packaging sector, then it has to be tailored to that. If it's investment, then it has to be tailored to that. But regardless of what sector, size, or location you're in, you can make a difference and you can be part of the solution. And sustainability will make you a better company, but will also help the world be a better place. So with that, on Earth Day, I encourage you all to make even a small contribution towards a better planet and a better society today. And I thank Alfredo, Alex, and Monica, and hopefully, participants will be able to reach out to you through LinkedIn, the networking scenarios, and so on. Thank you so much, and back to you, Tanya.
Thank you, Andrea. Thank you, Andrea. Thank you, Alex, Alfredo, and apologies, but with technology, these things happened. Just to close, we hope these conversations are continuing to inspire you all. We are delighted with the case studies that we have shown. And then continuing with our ceremony to discuss the challenge of evaluating all of the nominations, the quality of the applications. I'm going to welcome the chair of our judging panel, Mr. Haydon Garring-Wash, now. Thank you all.
Hello.
You're live, Ambassador.
Very good. Well, good. I was going to say good afternoon, but it depends where you are, really. Greetings to you all. It's marvelous that you've all taken part in this amazing ceremony, and I can only echo what the chairman said in the introductory remarks. Very high standard, absolutely wonderful. So many companies wanted to be part of the action, wanted to show what they're doing, and wanted to know what they were going to, and how they compared with the other companies. So there were 20 very good entries, a very high standard set. Looking at the way it was all structured, and there were some questions among the judges about whether more than one category would be better in future opportunities if we were to do this again next year, because it is quite difficult to compare a large company with a small company. It is very difficult to compare a consumer goods company with a services company. You all have different challenges. You have shown in your responses how well you are meeting them, but they don't all sort of stack up in quite the same way. But it has been very impressive. And next, I must offer a big thank you to the judges who made up the panel, and they were Andres Diaz-Silva, the head of sustainable development at the Colombian Embassy in London, Carlos Andres Olano, who is the director of the Department for International Trade at the British Embassy in Bogota, Oliver Wack, who is the general manager for Colombia and the Andean region at Control Risks, and Eduardo Ateotoa Barrero, Director América Latina, Principios de Inversión Responsable. They all put a lot of work into this. They thought very hard about it. We've had some very interesting discussions, and I'm very grateful to them. And so to the finalists. The competition was strong, but 4 made the first cut, and I'm going to list them in alphabetical order. So this is not sort of first, second, third, fourth. It is simply alphabetical order. They are Colcafé, FNSA, or the Colombian National Coffee Federation, Grupo Éxito, and Unilever. There were a number of other highly commended entries, including those by Drummond, Flores Funza, and John Lang. And really, this has been very difficult to actually pick out some people, because we could actually mention you all, the different ways in which you have actually excelled in taking part in this competition. And I would also like to include, because of the very different challenges they face, a smaller company as well, who's turned in an outstanding performance. So also among the commended mentions is Journey Latin America. Congratulations to you all. I think we're now going to watch videos from the 4 finalists to see the showcase of their activities, and before Lord Brown announces who the winner will be. Thank you.
Hello, everyone attending the Responsible Business Awards. This is a message especially for the British Columbian Chamber of Commerce. We wanted to thank everyone for their support in the application process, and we wanted to congratulate you on this great initiative to be able to give this opportunity to all companies to share all their programs towards sustainability and corporate social responsibility. I am Carolina Castañeda, the Director for Europe of the Colombian Coffee Growers Federation, and we have been able to share our over 90 years experience protecting and improving the lives of the over 540,000 Colombian coffee growers. It has been a great pleasure to apply to these awards, and we wish all the companies who applied the best. Thank you.
Hello everyone. Participating in initiatives such as the Responsible Business Awards allows Unilever to understand our scenario and what we can highlight from our work in terms of sustainability. As a company, we have an important journey on the path of sustainability, and it is important for us to always work with other organizations to understand what we can improve and what we must strengthen and continue to do. As a company, we know the role we have, and we are aware that we can use our scale to do good.
Hi, my name is Pablo Montoya. I'm the head of sustainability at Grupo Éxito. By participating in the Responsible Business Awards, which is led by the British and Colombian Chamber of Commerce, it's a great opportunity for us in order to reflect the progress we are gaining in our sustainability strategy. So it is an honor to be here to show also the progress and the challenges we have, and of course, by partnering with international stakeholders and national stakeholders on same purpose, same goals.
Thank you, Ambassador Haydon, and grave congratulations to all the finalists. Let us introduce now the honorable mentions. They were not part of the finalists, but we want to commend those entries.
ruta del cacao seguimos materializando los sueños de las comunidades de nuestras zonas de influencia. Hoy, familias como la de Margarita, Robledo y la de Nelly cambian sus trabajos a orillas de la carretera para poner en marcha sus proyectos productivos que les garantizan una mejor calidad de vida.
Portafolio de beneficios con accesos a programas de educación, salud, vivienda, ahorro, entre otros. Otorgamos beneficios que van más allá de lo que la ley nos obliga y que buscan impulsar el desarrollo personal y profesional de nuestros empleados.
At Flores Funza, one of our core values is environmental responsibility. Since it is a pillar of our organization, plenty of resources have been geared towards minimizing the impact of our fresh flower production on the environment.
Hello again. So, wow, what a lineup. And this shows you how diverse is the approach towards achieving responsible business. And now it is the moment that we are all been waiting for to announce the winner of the British and Colombian Responsible Business Awards. Please welcome our honorary Vice President, Lord Brown of Madingley. He's sharing with us a video.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. It was a great honor to be recently appointed Honorary Vice President of the British and Colombian Chamber of Commerce. My predecessor, Tristan Garrow-Jones, was a dear friend of mine and, of course, of Colombia. He did a huge amount to bring our two nations closer together, for which we owe him a debt of gratitude. I'm delighted to announce this evening the winner of the Chamber's British and Colombian Responsible Business Award 2021. The award recognizes companies operating between the UK and Colombia that have demonstrated excellence in how they treat their staff, their customers, the environment, and the communities in which they operate. Some people call this corporate social responsibilities. Others might call it sustainable business, responsible business, or in the words of my own book, Connected Leadership. Whatever we call it, it is what society expects of business and is undoubtedly the right thing to do. This year's winner has demonstrated strong performance across the board, as well as an outstanding commitment to developing partnerships with the private sector, governments, and NGOs in Colombia and the rest of the world. The winner of the British Colombian Responsible Business Award 2021 is the National Federation of Coffee Growers in Colombia. Congratulations to you and all the companies that have participated in this year's awards.
Thank you so much, Lord Brown, and congratulations again to the National Federation of Coffee Growers in Colombia. This is an incredible achievement. We will now welcome back, as you have seen, our chair of the judging committee, Mr. Haydon Agarwin-Bosch, and the president of the National Federation of Coffee Growers in Colombia, Roberto Vélez, to discuss their practices of responsible business. Prepare to be inspired.
Good afternoon. Roberto, are you there?
No, I think that he's having some technical issues. Let me get back to you on that. Just give me 1 second. Ambassador Hayden, at the moment, Roberto is having technical difficulties. We are asking another representative from the Federation to join you. So I don't know if you want to have a brief introduction on the Federation, or you want to wait a bit.
I think it's probably best to let them do the introduction, talk about themselves. It's not for me to do that, but I'm very happy to congratulate them and talk them through some of the things which gave them the chance to do even better than the other entries.
Okay, Andres and Caroline, if you are online, Roberto is having technical difficulties, so if you can join us in the backstage, we'll have a conversation with you. Roberto is here. Hello, welcome, Roberto. You are on mute. You are still on mute. Now. No, not yet. Are you using your, maybe it's the, are you using Safari or Google Chrome? No, we cannot hear you.
I think the microphone is mute, and I think that is the problem, isn't it?
Yeah, no, but the problem is that he cannot unmute the microphone. It's not working. His unmuting facilities are not working. Roberto, if you can log out and log in again, and we'll try that again. And then in the meantime, if Andres or Carolina are here, we can just let them in. Just log out, Roberto, and try to log out completely, leave, and then try to do it to log in again.
Have we done it?
No.
Maybe.
Yeah. Oh, it's gone. Roberto, try that again. Roberto.
I'm doing my best.
Yes, we can hear you now. Oh no, he's gone. It's a signal, I think.
It may be that. Well, is there somebody else, perhaps, while we're waiting for Roberto, because I think the other people who are with us today probably would like to hear a bit about what the Federation has been able to do and how they've been able to do it, and maybe we can catch up with Roberto in a bit.
Yes. Roberto is trying to log in, but...
Good.
Roberto, hola. You are on mute. Apologies for that. Just give us 1 second, and then otherwise we'll have to try to ask representatives of the Coffee Federation to join. Hi, Roberto.
Hello with them.
Hello. Oh, finally.
Finally. So I'll leave you to it. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks. I don't know if I'm happier for the win of these wonderful award of being able to connect with you today. Thank you very much, Ambassador Warren Gosh. Thanks a lot for your invitation, and we are clearly delighted to be awarded with such an honorable award on responsible business. For us, is definitely an achievement for
I think it's a massive achievement, if I may say so, and many congratulations to you. I think, and to be honest, and you scored very highly across the board. And I confess a personal bias here because I am the son of a coffee farmer. I grew up in Africa on a coffee farm, but I did not have a vote on this. So the other competitors can't actually say I was biased. I was simply the chair of the panel. You won fairly and squarely and extremely well, and I'm absolutely delighted for you. And I absolutely agree.
Thank you very much, Ambassador. And again, for us, it's an incredible award. It awards not to us today, but to the old generation that have passed through the Federation. Let me start by saying that our founding fathers in 1927 already wrote about the way to properly maintain the soils in the coffee growing areas. That was the number one. And number two, let me say that ever since the Federation was founded, our mission is to look for the well-being of the coffee growers. We have 540,000 small coffee growers families with 1.6 hectares in average. So as you can see, this is a business of smallholders. Therefore, the mission of this institution complies perfectly with what we today call sustainability. And ever since we've seen sustainability, we've been going beyond what a company does as social responsibility. We go onto the three main pillars of the sustainability. We work on the environmental side. And let me tell you just one number that will call your attention. 30 years back, to produce 1 kilo of coffee that a coffee grower sells into the market, it requires 30 liters of water in order to wash properly the coffee. New technology developed by the Federation changed that situation from 30 liters to 0.7 liters. So that in that you can see what a massive impact we've had into water. Then environment as a whole, we keep on growing trees all through our 850,000 hectares that are in coffee. This year, for instance, we have a plan of planting more than 500,000 new trees in the coffee growing area. But this is the environmental pillar of this. The social pillar definitely is one of our major strengths. On the gender side, we work very hard to give women the proper representation on the coffee side, bearing in mind that 30% of our associates are women, head of families. So we work together with them, but we also work with the association. We strive for not child labor in the coffee growing of Colombia, and we have achieved that. And all that has to do with the social side. We have built the schools, we have built healthcare centers for the coffee growers. And we work very hard on the sustainability on the economic side, because we always seen sustainability as a three-leg table, where sometimes the environmental and socials are very large, but the economic is a short one. And we always said that the three-leg table with one shorter leg doesn't stand. So that's why we thrive, not only in Colombia, but worldwide, to bring the coffee industry into a properly sustainability mood. We strongly believe that there is the possibility for coffee industry as a whole, not only coffee growers, but coffee exporters, coffee importers, coffee roasters in the UK, coffee shops in London, in everywhere, Costa Coffee, to become a truly full sustainable industry that can provide the customers and the world with a concept where the three pillars of sustainability are present in every single cup of coffee that we drink. So that's been probably one of our main spirits lately. But again, ever since this institution was founded, all social responsibility, business responsibility, corporate responsibility has been present.
I think that's an absolutely marvelous summary. I was going to ask you some questions about it, but you've already answered them better than I could have. The one thing I am going to ask you, but it's slightly out of the loop, but you were talking about, if you like, the economic continuity, the shorter leg of the three-legged pair stool. I do remember from my own childhood that one of the things that was really mattered in coffee was that one year the prices were enormous and the next year they were very low. But if you are going to have sustainability, you have to have some means, particularly if you're a smallholder, to get through that. What have you done on that front?
You're absolutely right, Ambassador. And in this regard, that's why we have invited the industry to join us in assessing what we call a prosperous income for the coffee growers, which is an income that can support the livelihood of the family, but help the family to improve in order to have a prosperity through the generations, meaning that the next generation will live better than the old generation, the past generation. So, because it's not only coffee, but mainly all commodities where, let me give you just one number. The full coffee business around the world produces around $250 billion US. Out of that, not even 10% goes to the 25 million families that live on coffee around the globe. And for us, it's not a secret that if you pay £3 for a cup of coffee in Oxford Street, a coffee grower of Colombia would get probably 2 cents out of that. So we need to balance this equation where the full chain will be responsible and will have this responsibility mood to try again to project a better world, a better understanding, a better livelihood for all humankind.
Well, I think that's an absolutely brilliant answer, but we're only having quite a short chat today. I could be very happy for us to each sit down with a drink and have a much longer chat. We can't really do this on hand now. So just a quick final question, if I may. Given that we've just had this award ceremony this year, are there any tips you'd like to offer the other entrants about what it was that made you the winners? Because I have to say that right across the piece in all the sectors, you scored very highly, and it was remarkable to see.
Well, Ambassador, I forgot to congratulate all other competitors. I just saw them and I know them and the efforts they are doing toward a responsible business environment, and they all deserve this award.
But you don't have any special tips? Do you think there's something? Well, I think you probably said it all, actually. And if I go back to your ethos, which is to be democratic, transparent, and participatory, which I see is on your website, I think that's an amazing start, and perhaps it is actually the roadmap that the people need to look at and to follow.
Indeed. Transparency and being able to be honest with your base, with the people that you represent, and transparency toward the consumer, the end consumer, so they know what type of coffee they are getting. And hopefully, I always dream the day in which the person that is sitting in Manchester drinking a cup of coffee will relate to that person that is growing that same coffee that he is drinking.
I think that's happening more and more. There is an awareness, and quite a lot of the marketing here actually takes you right back to the original grower. It doesn't mean that the prices or the get back to the grower are necessarily reflected in the same way, but there's a growing awareness of that. But Roberto, thank you very much for your time, and well done mastering the technology. I've had trouble myself, so I know what it's about. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ambassador. And once again, I want to express all my gratitude and the gratitude of 3 of the families that I represent. And let me give the final thanks to the British Columbian Chamber of Commerce for being so nice. And we feel greatly honored on this.
Thank you very much indeed. Hasta pronto.
Thank you, Ambassador Hayden, and congratulations again to Roberto Fedecafé as the winner of the award. And of course, to all our finalists, honorable mentions, and all our applicants. And as this responsible business is only the start of your journey. To close the proceedings, I'm going to welcome again our chairman, if he's around. Our chairman for the final remarks. Hello, Simon.
Hello, Tanya. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you properly. I'll get out of the way.
That's a relief. So thank you all for coming to our Responsible Business Awards ceremony, both to our gallant entrants and attendees alike. This is in many ways a celebration because it recognizes the importance of the world we live in and the importance of preserving it and the nature that sustains it. And it also brings focus on the fact that sustainability these days is not just a good thing. It is essential for business success and indeed survival. So everyone in attendance here recognizes this, and we thank all applicants for putting their best foot forward, not just the honorable mentions and the finalists, but everybody who entered our contest. The pandemic hasn't helped the situation for business, and hopefully we will be entering soon a transformation period, but I wouldn't bet on it. But nevertheless, the environment still requires protection in spite of the challenges posed by COVID-19. We will be running this Responsible Business Awards event next year and encourage as many entries as possible from both small companies and large multinationals. So please try and put your sustainable credentials to the test. It's all in a vital cause. If some of you in the audience would like to enter, you would be more than welcome, and please get in touch with the Chamber. And finally, next year, we will be seeking sponsorship for this award. And this offers opportunity for companies to raise their profile in supporting responsible business, the whole point of this exercise. So please get in contact with the Chamber if this opportunity appeals. So a final thank you to all participants, great and small, for supporting our event designed to help improve daily experiences of life in Colombia, whether in rural communities or urban. We're seeking improved quality of life and protection of nature, which sustains all of us. And the final ingredient in this ceremony award is an opportunity to network. And for those of you who are not familiar with this platform, I should explain it. It's rather like speed dating. You get 3 minutes to meet somebody, get their business contact details and their focus of interest, and then move on to the next meeting. So with that, I wish you all the best of luck, and thanks again for coming to our award ceremony.
Thank you, Simon. We are near the end, and this is certainly an adventure for all of us. I hope you have found the event valuable and that you are inspired. Please, let's give a round of applause to all our applicants. This is only the beginning, and shortly you will receive a link from Juan Camilo, our advisor in this topic, with our plan to action and our joint commitment to develop responsible businesses with you. Thank you, Camilo, for the support given to the companies and the application process and all the team. To finalize, we have prepared the last inspiring video, including all our nominees and some examples of the responsible initiatives. Please keep spreading the word through social media with the hashtag Let's Take Action, hashtag Brucol Awards. If you feel, as Simon mentioned, if you feel like meeting your fellow attendees and peers, join us after the last video, the final video, in our networking area. You can join the networking area by pressing on the left-hand side of your menu where it says networking. Goodbye and see you soon.
Hello, British and Colombian Chamber of Commerce Responsible Business Awards is a wonderful initiative. This is a time when the world is taking account of where it is and how we can build a sustainable and fair global economy. Working through the application, I've learned so much, realised what DT&G Chocolate Technologies has already done, and how we simply must move forward to continue with our sustainable and ethical business, offering benefits to all who come in contact with us and setting targets to be achieved. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you.
First of all, I want to congratulate the British and Colombian Chamber of Commerce for creating this initiative, which is of great value for companies such as Drummond that have developed responsible business practices, aligning our social, environmental, and sustainability efforts with international standards, mainly the Sustainable Development Goals of the United Nations. For us at Drummond, it's very important to participate in these spaces, not only to showcase what we have been doing and measure our progress in terms of corporate social responsibility, but especially to benchmark and learn about what other companies in Colombia and the United Kingdom that are also working hard to carry out sustainable operations are doing. A responsible company is one that is not limited to compliance with the law, but also that goes further, understand the needs of those communities where it operates. And I think everybody participating in these initiatives following that path. I think this initiative would also help us recognize their strengths, but also to be able to recognize our weaknesses and for us to be able to follow best practices along to achieve our goals. Again, thank you to the Chamber for letting us participate in the Responsible Business Award. Thank you.
Compañía de colombianos para colombianos, hemos construido lazos con nuestro alrededor que nos hacen más fuertes y que nos permiten aportar al desarrollo del campo y del futuro de Colombia. Hoy queremos decirles a todos quienes han hecho realidad esta historia de amor, determinación y calidad, gracias por hacer de Ramo una de las marcas más queridas por los colombianos. Los 3.000 colaboradores de esta gran familia seguiremos llevando unión a través de nuestros productos y de la mano de nuestros más de 200.000 clientes y aliados estratégicos. Seguiremos dando lo máximo para ir por más.